What up? Welcome back to the channel. So, sorry if it's a little loud. I got the truck warming up. But welcome back to the Cult of Speed. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you. So, today we have an exciting day. Today I am sharing with you my main vlog setup. The main camera that I use all the time, that I use to shoot videos like this, that I use every day. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Welcome to the channel. This is the Cult of Speed. We do everything fast. We try to get into cars, trucks, motorcycles, whatever. The tagline is just everything fast. So I appreciate you being here. If you're new, I hope you stick around, and I hope I earn a subscribe or a like from you. If not, whatever. I just hope you enjoy the content. And by the way, just a quick shout out. If you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me on Instagram, because a lot of the content and stuff I shoot today will end up on Instagram. So be sure to check out there when you have the availability. I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, go ahead and check out the Cult of Speed Instagram. For now, we are headed to a Cars and Coffee event, which I hope is going to be sick. I've never been there before, but we're heading to Cars and Coffee, and shout out to them, because it's on a Sunday, which they're always on Saturday. And as I've told you on this channel before, I'm unavailable on Saturdays. So I'm glad that it's on Sunday, and I'm stoked to go. So for now, let's go and do that.
Let your crazy come out just a little bit. I can see by how you're moving that you're feeling it. You're an animal. Everybody got a wild side. Yeah, you're probably about to see mine. Come on, don't you think it's about time to live it up? Can't get it up your wild side. Everybody got a wild side.
All right, so a couple things that are important to me for a vlog setup is that I was a little bit unexcited about a giant thing, giant camera, giant mirrorless camera, whatever, to carry around. You know, going into stores with it, people already look at you quite a bit. And I just wasn't that excited about having a giant thing with a giant mic. So something that I was interested in was something that was kind of inconspicuous. So that means small, that means easy. Another thing that I wanted was to be easy. I wanted the setup to be simple to use. I didn't want to have to mess around with too much, because I'm just vlogging. I don't need it to be the most amazingly looking thing. Like, I do want very high quality, but I do also want it to be easy, because, you know, I'm just a one-man band here. I can't be always setting the settings and everything, because that's a lot of work when I'm just doing it on my own, filming other stuff. So I wanted it to be easy. So another thing that was important to me, I kind of just mentioned it, is I wanted it to be very high quality. I do want to have really good videos that I can provide you. So 4K, you know, just the modern standards of what cameras are capable of. I wanted something like that too. So that's ultimately why I ended up choosing the camera that I chose. Okay, so I'm gonna film everything today on this camera right here, but as you probably knew from the thumbnail, it's the DJI Pocket 3. I think that it's no surprise that this is gonna be the choice. I think a lot of content creators have come to really like this camera. So the only reason I'm shooting on this camera right now, which you can see from that picture, is my FX30, is because I need to show you the camera. But the rest of the stuff that's going to be in this video is all going to be shot on the Pocket 3. So it's an extremely capable camera, and that's one of the reasons I chose it. So it's the DJI Pocket 3 right there. So as I mentioned, something that was important to me about this vlog setup was that it was easy. So a couple of the pros of the DJI Pocket 3 is that it's small. You can literally take it anywhere, and you can put it anywhere. It's really easy to use. It's also inconspicuous. I'm in a group with a bunch of people who probably don't give a crap if I'm on a camera. but it still is a little bit easier to just have this as opposed to something like this, which you probably wouldn't have your whole gimbal set up, but still having a mirrorless camera that you're toting around and pointing at you is a little bit harder. So this Pocket 3 setup is perfect. So the pros are it's small, it's really easy, it's basically just push record and you're pretty much good to go. So that's one big pro to this camera, and that's why I use it all the time. A couple of the cons of the Pocket 3, there's not many, and overall it doesn't matter because I'd keep the camera. I think it's amazing. But a couple of things that I've had challenges with. So when I color grade my FX30, it's a lot easier and it usually turns out pretty decent. The color's probably just better quality, but I do have a little bit of a challenge when I color grade the log footage on the Pocket 3 versus my FX30. So that's one thing. The other thing is the battery life. So obviously the battery is built in. You do have the extra battery handle if you buy, you know, the creator combo or whatever. And I use that. So the only thing is that it's only so much and you have to recharge it from there. Now the benefit is you can plug in a power pack or whatever you want to it and just charge it. So it's not a big deal. But that's one downside to it is the battery. It's just built in. You can't swap it. All right, back, which is really annoying because it was a sick car meet, Cars and Coffee. Shout out AZ Track Stars. I'll put it on screen. Check them out on Instagram. They're the ones who threw it. So if you're in Arizona and you want to go to another one that was pretty good, watch their Instagram. It was pretty good. But it was too short. I was there too short. I had appointments that I had to get to. I had to run. I barely got any time for the videos that I was doing. So yeah, big bummer. But the next step that we're gonna do, the next part of the video is talk about accessories, because we've got the camera. It's the DJI Pocket 3 like we talked about. Let's talk about the accessories for what really helps me make these vlogs. Firstly, I want to talk about a couple of things that came with the kit I bought. I bought the DJI Pocket 3 Creator Combo, which I think is the move to go with. Anybody looking at this camera, I don't know why you wouldn't buy that unless you already had some of this stuff, but you might be watching this video because you don't have the Pocket 3. So I'll assume you don't, and I would say buy the Creator Combo. And I'll tell you what comes with that. I don't have everything here, but the most important thing is number one, what I'm holding right here. The Mic 2. It comes with one DJI Mic 2. It's the exact same mic that comes in the Mic 2 case. If you buy this separate, this is a different purchase, but it's the exact same mic. Definitely one of the biggest reasons why I bought the Creator Combo was to get this mic. Or the second accessory rather is this, and I'm going to take that real quick. It comes with the extra battery, which is right here. I think the Pocket 3 always comes with the tripod. I'm not 100% sure, but that is super helpful as well. So I'll just put that in there with it. Is this tripod right here. But this is the extra battery for the DJI Pocket 3. This is a big time requirement because, as I talked about as one of the cons, the battery is a little bit short on the camera itself. This extends it. And even then, it might be nice to have a couple of these because this is your only extra battery. You can't just swap the batteries in the Pocket 3. Like I said, you can take like a external portable charger and charge it while you're using it, which is great. So ultimately you have ways to get around this. It extends the grip, which is a nice little perk of it. It also, with the tripod, it just makes it all easier to hold. So I think the Creator Combo for the mic and the battery alone are like a necessity. I don't know why you'd buy anything different. Plus, I think at Costco, it's like $450, which is definitely cheaper than I bought mine for. The other thing that it comes with is this guy right here. It's a smaller grip, just a little bit of additional grip. But the nice thing about it is it adds an additional mounting thing. So right now on the bottom, I'll talk about these in a second. I've got a mount on it. It's a quick release mount to my tripod. So I basically can take this and just mount it. I have this quick release system on basically everything that I use camera-wise. And I can just slide it in. It mounts on here. And now the DJI with its little system here can mount onto the tripod really easy. So this comes in the creator combo, and I think that's another reason why it's worth it. But long story short, get the creator combo for those accessories alone. That's definitely one of the biggest reasons why I bought it, is just the mic in that. So that's accessory number 1. Accessory item number 2 that I think is really beneficial to have with the Pocket 3 is the specialty mounts. They're quick release mounts, so you can kind of see. This is the Fall Cam series. This is the F38 mount right here. And like I just showed you, this thing is great because here's my tripod. Here's the base plate for that mount. And it goes, boom, quick released into there. And then when I'm done with it, quick released out of there. And these things, they have mounting solutions for all kinds of different things. They also expand further into your camera line down the line if you ever upgrade to a mirrorless camera like this one here. So as you see, I have a cage on the camera, and right here has that quick release built in right there. So if I take that and I take my quick release tripod right here, slide it in, it's mounted right there. So another big perk to that quick release system is it expands further into your camera line, but that's obviously for that stuff. So a couple accessories that I use with it for the DJI Pocket 3 is this guy. This is a smaller, this is their F22 mount right here. And on the side of the Pocket 3, which you can't see right now, there's an extra little mini cage that's wrapped around it right now. And it has the male version of this female mount right here. And that means that you can quick release it to all these different mounts. So that's a huge perk of using that camera mounting line, is that you can just mount it to everything. So there's an example of that. Here's my chest rig that I use for my Action 5. But as you see right here, there's the mount system mounted right in there. So there's the female, here's the male, and then here's a DJI mount right here. So this mounts just like the extended battery, just like the Action 5 does right here. And you can mount this onto that cage that's on the Pocket 3 now. So you have a bunch of mounting options, which just makes it easy, because as you'll find when you're going around, all these different mounts and a bunch of crap that you need that I'm showing you here, when you have just one system consolidated, it makes it really easy because everything works with each other. That's definitely something I found. And then once again, here's another example, is the quick release mount that I showed you already. And another benefit of things like this is on the bottom of this quick release, you might see it has a 1/4-20 right in there in the bottom. And you can take arms like this magic arm, which has a 1/4-20 right here, and you can just screw it on. So, you have versatility in these mounts. There's also a few 1/4-20s on this cage that I showed you. And the other great thing about this cage that I showed you is that this mic right here will slide right onto the side of this cage. And now I'm hands-free with my mic as well as with the Pocket 3. So these mounting solutions from Fall Cam are definitely the way to go, in my opinion. I think that Small Rig has a great solution as well, but I'm already invested into the Fall Cam, and I think they're great. So I don't think I'd change anything. But yeah, so that's number 2 item of accessories that I think are great for the Pocket 3. Okay, so we're almost done on the accessories. The last couple are one I've already mentioned, and that's the mini tripod right here that comes with the Pocket 3. This mini tripod, just like on a gimbal, it comes in extremely handy. You can set your Pocket 3 down anywhere, voila, and usually it's pretty stable, and that's a great little system. So I think you need that, but I think sometimes it's too low. Like the Pocket 3, if you set it on the ground, it's way down there. And as you might have saw in some of the shots today, sometimes, when you're cutting your head off because it's looking up at you, etc. So I also think the next accessory is this right here, the just a regular tripod. I'd recommend to get this tripod. This is the Freewell tripod. It's carbon fiber. You don't have to get one like this. I just like it because it's really light. The other thing that I like about it is the way that the legs come out. You just twist this all the way, pull it all the way out. And then you tighten it by just twisting that, and now it can't go in. When you're done, twist it back, all the way back down. Makes it easier than having those ones that you screw each leg. That's kind of annoying. The other reason I liked it is it had this adjustment right here, which allows for a tilt mode on the ball head. And then it also has more ball head adjustment here. And you can, of course, use this piece right here to spin the ball head as well. So it's not fluid like a video tripod. It will do the job in a pinch, but it's super light, super compact, and it goes in my backpacks really easily. It also fits in my sling bag, which you might have seen really easily. So having a tripod, I think that is just a good thing to have. And once again, here's that mount right there for the fall cam mount. But this is just an Arca Swiss mount right here that the tripod comes with. And the base plate is an Arca Swiss. So just slides in there, and then you have the quick release mount. But let's say you have anything that's Arca Swiss, which is also a standard, across camera stuff. You can just slide that out and mount Arca Swiss still. So even my cage, even though it has the quick release mount, it still has Arca Swiss built in. So you can use either or. So those quick release mounts are just really good. I think they're really versatile in your setup. So get yourself a tripod. Okay, last accessory that I think is not required, but makes your life a lot easier. Number one is gonna be magic arms right here. So these two magic arms, you can mount them anywhere. You can get POV angles with them. You can do all kinds of different things with them. Also, you can mount those quick release mounts like I already showed you to them, or they can just be the 1/4-20 like these. But the magic arms are great because basically when you loosen them up, they can be any direction you want. They can move their little ball heads around however you need them to move around. And that gives you a really just versatile mounting solution. So I recommend these magic arms as kind of some specialty mounts. This one has a clamp at the bottom so you can clamp it to whatever. The other thing that I recommend is this right here. Still by that same company, Ulanzi, which makes those fall cam mounts. It's the same company. It's a suction mount. This thing is really handy for like some of those cinematic or as cinematic as I can be shots where you can mount it to whatever. Today, I mounted it to the back of the tailgate here on the side of the truck in a couple of the windows in the back window. This is just a cool thing to have. It's a unique angle that you can't usually get without a unique mount of at least this kind to clamp it to something or this kind to suction it to something. So these couple suction mounts, I think, will go a long way if you get them. They're both not expensive. This company, Ulanzi, they're overall pretty affordable. So I definitely recommend getting those two mounts as a thing to increase your kit and to increase your versatility. So final accessory would be these specialty mounts. One honorable mention that I forgot to mention earlier is ND filters. There's one on the camera right now, and this one I don't think is required because the auto setting on the manual on the exposure works pretty well. And actually I've used it often because I don't have variable NDs. I just have fixed NDs, which means that it's one ND filter. It's not, 2 to 5 stops. It's just one stop, in that range, which basically means that you're stuck at that exposure. So if it becomes lighter or darker, you actually have to change this if it's too dramatically different, which is a little bit of hassle. And like I said, one of the big reasons I chose the Pocket 3 is I want it to be easy. Now, a really cool thing is the case that it comes with right here. This is the case the Pocket 3 comes with. If you see this section in there, right there, that's actually where filters can go. So I'm gonna take it, pop it in, and you can hopefully see it in there now. It's a little bit dark. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there now. And that's where you can store them, which is cool because filters are magnets. So literally they just go right in there. So I'm taking one right here, and that one's actually magnetized to the other one. So it's just in there with no issues. And I think that's something that is good to have because it helps create more natural motion blur when you have your shutter speed at 180 degrees over your frame rate, which I'm going to talk about my settings here in a second. But like I said, I don't think you are required to have it, but I do think it's something nice. So Honorable mention is ND filters. These ones are from K&F Concepts, which, by the way, in case I didn't mention it earlier, I'll put everything down in the description, either a link or just a text or whatever, so that you can view any of the stuff that I have here and you can go pick it up for yourself. So I wanted to make sure to show you some of the settings on my Pocket 3. So that's what you're seeing right here. I'm going to show it on this screen from my FX30 right here. Now, I told you that I filmed everything on this video with the Pocket 3, and there's a couple exceptions when I have to show you the Pocket 3 itself. I've shown the FX30. Also, a couple of the car clips, I used the FX30 because I had it mounted on my gimbal. I could definitely do those clips with the Pocket 3 as well, but like I said, I had my gimbal. I was there for 2 videos, long story short, so some of it's FX30, but pretty much all the content is the Pocket 3. So anyways, I wanted to show you my settings. So here you are seeing me record from the FX30. So let's go to the Pocket 3 settings now. When I'm in the Pocket 3, you can see the 4K 60 at the bottom. This is my standard slow motion setting. It's 4K, that's the quality, 60, and it's 16:9, so horizontal instead of vertical. Now, when I swipe over here, you'll see I have manual exposure, my white balance at 4600, my color at D-Log, and that's basically the settings that I mess with. So exposure, I have it 1/120, and that's because it's double my frame rate. That's what you want to do for video. So there is some exceptions when there's some lighting challenges, but that's a lot different story. So 60 doubled is 120, so that's why it's 1/120. Now, when you do this, you will need an MD filter like it has right here. The reason why is because the exposure will be too bright if you don't. So the other setting is the ISO here. I keep it as low as I can, so 50 to 1600. I only bump that up for nighttime settings. That's it. So I want little noise in the video, so I keep the ISO low. So my white balance, this varies. This just depends on the time of day. So full daylight, it's 5600. Mixed lighting, around 4600. And then nighttime, I like a look that's lower, so around 3600, etc. You just kind of fine tune what works best for you. Now, the D-Log, I only shoot in D-Log because I want to color grade it to match this camera, the FX30. I want to try to get it as close as possible so I get a Rec 709 color space when I import it into my editor, and I use that footage here. So that's that setting. I try to match the colors. That's why I use D-Log. Now, what I do is I save it with this button over here. I go and save my settings. So that's my profile, I believe C2 for my slow motion setting. The next setting I have is my daytime or talking head setting, which is 4K 30. It's the exact same settings. It's double the frame rate. So it's not 120. It's 1/60 because that's double the 30 FPS frame rate. It's still 4K. The white balance I still adjust. I keep the ISO low and I shoot in log. So that's my daytime talking head color. The only difference that I do for that is I go to this footage, or let's see. I do have profile saved for vertical. The only difference I do is I do this same setting here, but I will change it from 4K 30 to 4K 24, and I will change the exposure to 1/50, and I bump the ISO to, let's see, I do it to 50 to 3200. And this setting is for night. This is my nighttime setting. 24 because it gets the most light in possible. It's the lowest frame rate. The ISO I bump up because I want to try to give it as much help as it can get. And then finally, everything else is the same except I put my white balance at a lower amount. So those are my settings for different times of day. You obviously adjust those kind of as needed, but those are kind of the baseline levels there. Okay, and that's pretty much a wrap on the video. I appreciate you watching. I hope that you learned a little bit from my vlog setup. A couple of the really main takeaways is, number one, I think the Pocket 3 is amazing. I think every beginner can use this. I think that it belongs in every pro or intermediate person's backpack or camera bag because I think it's great. I think it's a really good camera. and everybody should get it. It's affordable. I would buy that camera over starting to invest in something like this, because that camera can do everything, and that's in fact what I did. I bought this one first, and then I started to slowly invest into a mirrorless setup like this. Not that you don't need one of these. I think that when you can, buy one of these, because they're better cameras, without a doubt. But you can do more for less with this camera. So I highly recommend the Pocket 3. I can't say enough good things about it. DJI really knocked it out of the park. They are seriously like Apple, but for cameras. I think plenty of people have said that, because it's true. It is really, really good stuff. So yeah, that's the important takeaways. Now, a couple of these things I can make more videos on. Like if you want to know my editing workflow, my color space workflow, you know, how I operate one of these, my settings on it, a look through my camera bag, like whatever you want to know, like just let me know. I'm down to make these videos. You know, this is fun. I hope today's video turned out really good. I had to rush. I had a bunch of stuff to do today. And like I said at the beginning of the video, they never do cars and coffees on Sundays, so I really had to take advantage of it. But I hope the video turned out good, and I appreciate you being here. That's all for now. I'm glad to see you in the cult. Subscribe, like. You've been initiated, and yeah, let's get into some fast stuff. We'll see you later. Peace.